Any of y'all niggas ask me about a Cassidy question, we're gonna cut the interview. This of hip hop, this Philly, so we're gonna do whatever. We ain't got no limits to this interview. But first of all, cuz he a weirdo from the town. We ain't gonna use his name no more. Cuz he a weirdo from the town. He can't come back to the city really. Last 5 times he been back to the city, he was back here with me or even ARF. He ain't addressed everything ARF said in none of his raps because he won't address it. He's scared to address it. He won't dare address that. And ARF ain't saying nothing new. He been saying shit like this. He only saying it because of the camera.
Nah, I mean, if you would have asked me a year ago about Meek, you know what I'm saying, I would have had nothing but love for him. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of records with him when he was in Philly before he got in this situation. You know, I bought him out the shows, BB King's, everywhere I was at, I was rocking out with him. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt as though once he got on, things wasn't exactly the same. I don't know if it was because he was busy or he switched his pitch, but I don't know.
Welcome back to Fame Flux, where the truth behind fame gets exposed. Meek Mill and Cassidy share a history that began as mutual respect, but gradually escalated into one of Philadelphia's most talked about rap feuds. The diss tracks exchanged between them would go on to become legendary moments in battle rap culture. Today, the focus is on breaking down the complete history of Meek Mill versus Cassidy. In the early to mid-2000s, a young Philadelphia talent named Robert Williams began honing his skills in the gritty local battle rap scene. Around this same time, another Philly battle rapper, Cassidy, was rising through the ranks after dominating battles throughout the 1990s. Known for maintaining an undefeated reputation in lyrical combat, Cassidy signed to Rough Riders as part of the group Larceny, eventually becoming the leading artist on his mentor, Swizz Beatz' label, Full Surface Records. Cassidy's national breakthrough came with his feature on the track Bigger Than Business, alongside industry heavyweights Snoop Dogg, Jadakiss, and Diddy. His debut album, Split Personality, released on March 16, 2004, sold 118,000 copies in its first week and included the hit single Hotel with R. Kelly. On June 28, 2005, he followed up with his second studio album, I'm a Hustler, further cementing his reputation.
Cass, going from there, I wanted to ask you, man, how did the beef, if you would call it that even, with Meek Mill originally start?
Misunderstandings. You know what I mean? I had a relationship with Meek Mills before his success. We did a lot of records together, hung out a lot of times. There's even a lot of footage that you could pull up and see of us, you know what I mean, developing a relationship before his success. But those once he got more successful and started putting out singles, I reached out to him to work on a record. It made more sense now. We had records before when I was popping already and you was up and coming. So it was more one-sided, you know what I'm saying? But now that you got records out and you popping throughout the whole country, if we do a record together, it'd be big for the city. So I reached out and tried to get it done, but I guess it was a misunderstanding in the timing and the response and getting the record done. It seemed like it was real easy before the success came, but I still had success and I was making it easy for him to reach out, get records done. But when he got a little bit of success, it seemed like it was it just was, the timing was off, things was different. So at the time, I just responded in a way, and that's how the whole shit started. But, you know, he don't owe me a record. It's not like he gotta definitely do nothing for me. We don't never gotta work again for the rest of our life. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes it just be misunderstandings of emotion. Sometimes you don't understand what niggas got going on in their life, what they capable of. I mean, he could be thinking yo, Cass gonna get busy, so I gotta really fully lock in and dedicate time to writing the best verse so we could do it big for the city, and I don't got that time right now. Who knows what could have been going on, you know what I'm saying? So it could have been just a misunderstanding, misinterpretations, but shit like that happened, and that's why we started dropping the songs and things like that.
However, in January 2006, Cassidy faced a serious legal setback, being arrested and later convicted of involuntary manslaughter, 2 counts of aggravated assault, and possession of an instrument of crime for his involvement in a shooting. He was sentenced to 11 to 23 months in prison, marking a pivotal turning point in his career and public image. Following his release, Cassidy returned with his third album, BARS, The Barry Adrian Reese Story, on November 6, 2007, selling 63,000 copies in its first week. Soon after, he parted ways with Swizz Beatz and the Full Surface Records label, marking the end of an important era in his career. Rewinding to 2006, Robert Williams began focusing on a solo rap career under the name Meek Mills, which he would later shorten to Meek Mill. He began releasing several mixtapes on the underground circuit, including the now legendary Flamers series.
Me too, but what you gonna do about this Meek?
He said he wanna battle niggas, but when I took him up on his offer, he started to reconsider.
That cat lame, on every song he rap the same. That cat change, he got a deal and don't act the same.
That nigga wildin' cause he sold a couple 100,000, but I sold triple what that nigga sold my first album.
He not selling cause that nigga can't stop yelling. He know he can't f with you, that nigga look up to you.
They ain't nothing new I raised, son. I was around when that clown couldn't even get his braids done.
Why you drop that I'm a ball shit?
Cause his boss say you're boss, and he just on his boss. I usually don't get mad, but I had enough. When he dropped that song, Amen, that was blasphemous.
Which brought him significant local attention. In 2008, Meek Mill was convicted of possession of drug paraphernalia and received a sentence of 11.5 to 23 months in prison, along with 7 years of probation. In June 2009, 5 months after being incarcerated in January of that year, Meek Mill was released on parole under house arrest conditions. Upon returning home, he was welcomed by Philadelphia rap veteran Cassidy, and the two developed a working friendship during Meek's early rise. Footage from this period shows them freestyling together in living room sessions, highlighting their early camaraderie. On March 12, 2010, Meek Mill released his highly anticipated mixtape, Flamers 2. The Wait Is Over, which solidified his reputation as one of the most promising independent voices in the rap game. He followed up in August with Mr. Philadelphia, showcasing a fresh new image after cutting his hair. By February 2011, Meek Mill officially signed with Rick Ross's Maybach music group Imprint, entering the national spotlight. His momentum would accelerate even further on August 11th, when a major turning point in his career unfolded. In 2011, Meek Mill released the first installment of his Dream Chaser series, marking a pivotal moment in his career. From that point, his momentum skyrocketed, establishing him as one of the hottest emerging artists in the world. As his profile rose, Cassidy began to notice a shift in Meek Mill's demeanor, describing him as becoming more confident and image-driven following his major success. According to Cassidy, he reached out to collaborate after Meek achieved national recognition, but Meek declined to work with him. This decision left Cassidy feeling overlooked, especially considering that in the earlier years, Cassidy had offered guidance during Meek's initial come-up in Philadelphia's rap scene. The tension would remain under the surface until November 2012, when the situation escalated publicly. It began with Meek Mill using Twitter to challenge Cassidy to a $100,000 rap battle, a challenge Cassidy quickly accepted. However, Meek later withdrew the offer, tweeting that he preferred to focus on creating commercially successful music rather than engaging in battles. He added that certain rappers would have to pay him for such an event, claiming his debut album, Dreams and Nightmares, was hotter than anything battle rap could produce. In December, Cassidy secured an endorsement deal to create a remix of the viral hit Gangnam Style titled Custom Style. Meek Mill later posted a picture of Cassidy on Instagram, captioned with a claim that the song was the worst in rap history. Cassidy responded days later with a track titled Me, Myself, and iPhone, a record containing direct lyrical shots aimed at Meek Mill, setting the stage for an intensifying feud. This marked the point where the feud officially transitioned onto wax. Following Meek Mill's initial diss track, Cassidy appeared on The Breakfast Club to publicly address the situation and share his perspective on the escalating conflict. Shortly after, A.R. Ab, a close associate of Cassidy, stated that he had no involvement in the beef and distanced himself by saying he was not part of Larceny family.
The reason you let me down is because I'm on Twitter yesterday and I'm arguing with people. I'm like,
all right,
when it comes to songs, Meek Mill might make better songs. But when it comes to battle rapping, he don't want no problems with Cassidy.
he definitely don't.
But then I hear the diss record and I'm like, it wasn't what I was expecting. You could have came a little harder.
That's because it wasn't a diss record, you know what I'm saying? I was messing around with the beats, got my MP back, was banging out and just put something together. But I just put it out a couple hours after we went through that Twitter situation, so everybody called it a Meek diss. But it wasn't. It just was a record that I just put out just to get the street some bars. If I do a diss record, it's going to be on the ether level, if not worse. It's going to be direct. You're going to know it's a diss record. You're going to know who I'm talking about. That was just a little record I just threw out there for the streets to keep them fed. You know what I'm saying?
So all the kidnapping your daughter, that wasn't Meek. That wasn't for Meek.
I don't think Meek
Nah, none of that was for Meek.
Oh, okay.
You listen to
Meek
the
has a
bars.
son.
You listen to the bars, you could know that wasn't directed at him. That was just, I was just rapping.
All right, now let's talk about you and Meek Mill for a second, because obviously that's a hot topic that's been going on. What is the problem with you two? Is it really just over this battling and then it just went too far, or were there problems before this?
Nah, I mean, if you would have asked me a year ago about Meek, you know what I'm saying, I would have had nothing but love for him. You know what I'm saying? I was doing a lot of records with him when he was in Philly before he got in this situation. You know, I bought him out the shows, BB Kings, everywhere I was at, I was rocking out with him. You know what I'm saying? But I just felt as though once he got on, things wasn't exactly the same. I don't know if it was because he was busy or he switched his pitch, but I don't know. But I still kept it all the same. You know what I mean? Until I started seeing him talking crazy on Twitter. I know y'all know, like a couple months ago, he started saying little slick stuff on Twitter because I retweeted something somebody said. I'm not even sure if I read the whole tweet. I just wanted to let him know that people on the street want to see us still do music like how we used to now that he on. You know what I'm saying? But he started talking crazy on Twitter, so I wanted to wait till I got a chance to see him.
What do you mean by talking crazy?
I don't remember the exact message he put, but he is up there. You know what I'm saying?
Like, was it something you know was directed towards you, or could it not have?
Definitely, it was directed towards me.
He definitely added you in the tweets.
Yeah, he definitely directed it towards me, and he was talking a little crazy. So I wanted to wait until I got a chance to see him. He talking about, I'm always home, you could come see me. So I'm like, I'm gonna wait till I see him to see, you know what I'm saying, where we at with it. I seen him at the 2K party, we was busting it up. He was making it seem like everything was cool. I was in the studio the other day, I left it alone. And then a little while ago, people start calling me, telling me he wanted to battle me. You know what I'm saying? And I'm like, that don't make sense to me. He know what I'm capable of. So for him to want to battle me, I just don't understand that. You know what I'm saying? But you know, I was gonna get the money away to charity. We got the sponsors to put up the chicken for us. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd be good for hip hop. No disrespect to the music y'all play or the music that dudes doing nowadays, but it ain't too focused on bars how it used to be. You know what I'm saying? Dude used to be focused on saying the craziest things, and now it's more about having fun. You know what I'm saying? So I thought it'd bring some excitement back into hip hop. I thought it'd be a good look for hip hop, for battle rappers, and for the culture, period. So I was willing to do it. But a little later I found out that he ain't want to battle me. He said that he wanted me and Mook to battle, and he wasn't really wanting to battle, even though he said he wanted to get back in the battle game with underground rappers. He did say that. And he said if he could battle somebody that was on, it'd be even better. So from me coming to the table, I should have fit in that category. But you know, he know what I'm capable of, so I guess he just reconsidered when I said I wanted to do it. So once I found that out, I left it alone till I was in the studio the other day. And all of a sudden I hear he talking crazy on Twitter again. I look at the tweet.
Yeah, I got the tweet here. He said you gotta get popping first to battle
like
me.
You know what I'm saying? And I'm thinking like, wow, like, you know what I'm saying? Like, you know, years and years ago when he was probably in middle school, I had plaques on my wall. You know what I'm saying? I got platinum singles. So I mean, everybody got their own opinion. You say he make better songs, that's cool. He got his little wave right now. You know what I'm saying? To a certain extent. But I been did that, you know what I'm saying? I been laid that groundwork for my city. So for me to be popping, what do you mean? Like, you know what I'm saying? I don't really understand exactly what he meant. But at the end of the day,
I guess he means relevant like right now, like what's hot at the moment.
Yeah, but you know, once we get into that battle and somebody get their head bit off, then I'm gonna automatically be hot again. So but I don't want people to think it was some publicity stunt on my behalf. Like I just came up with this plan to attack somebody that's popping right now. I just was responding to what he was doing and what he was saying. It wasn't like I initiated it.
On January 5th, 2013, Cassidy delivered his official response with a track titled Raid. Spanning over 10 minutes, the record showcased Cassidy switching between multiple classic hip-hop beats while delivering relentless lyrical attacks aimed directly at Meek Mill. In response, Meek took to Twitter, proposing that they should end the back and forth online and instead give fans a live rap battle, with proceeds donated to local schools in need. He challenged Cassidy to make it happen the following day, also making pointed remarks about Cassidy's absence from Philadelphia and questioning his street credibility. Among Meek's accusations was the claim that Cassidy had been booked for a murder he did not commit, took a deal, and cooperated in a way that harmed his co-defendant. Despite the fiery exchange, Meek did not immediately release a follow-up diss track. A couple of weeks later, in an interview with Hip Hop Since 1987, Meek Mill stated that he had no plans to respond musically. Instead, he dismissed Cassidy as irrelevant, labeling him a weirdo from the town and repeating his claim that Cassidy no longer returned to Philadelphia. 2 months later, Meek Mill participated in an interview where he delivered the diss he had written toward Cassidy. However, it wasn't until 8 months after that moment, on September 5th, 2013, that Meek officially released the track Kendrick You Next. On the song, Meek not only took direct aim at Cassidy, but also issued a warning to Kendrick Lamar, making it clear that Kendrick could be next in line to face his lyrical firepower. Only 2 days later, Cassidy fired back with the track Catch a Body. This was another intense and aggressive diss aimed at Meek Mill, showcasing Cassidy's lyrical sharpness and reinforcing his reputation as a formidable battle rapper who thrived in competitive rap exchanges. In June 2014, Cassidy sat down for an interview with DJ Vlad, where he clarified that his beef with Meek Mill was purely within the realm of hip-hop competition. He emphasized that there were no deeper personal issues behind their feud. 2 years later, in 2016, Meek Mill became embroiled in a public beef with The Game.
You was a fucking bum. You couldn't even get your braids fucking done. It looked like you was growing dreads. You must have lost your damn mind screaming all the damn time. You can't rhyme, and if it wasn't for Charlie Mack, you wouldn't even have a house to have a house party at. You could hardly rap. All you do is make party tracks. No, Meek sounds so weak on a slow beat. You blew up fast, but now you got a slow leak. All you gon' hear about is how Cass aired you out. Who cares about how you supposed to be rich or how you ride in your ghost, rolling on your wrist? You really hype, but you ain't even reppin' Philly right. You not a big willy just cause you know how to willy bikes. Your first album in that compilation flop, cause you tell a bunch of lies and you exaggerate a lot. Stop saying you was making guap hustling cause you wasn't. See, your name was Meek Mills and now it's Meek Mill. You couldn't even keep the f***ing Z in your name. You the biggest in the game, I got you cat shook.
Cassidy losing to Meek.
Now how does that look? Why you drop that song Repo? That was a whack look. The streets know them people need to repo your rap.
On his diss track Pest Control, The Game referenced Cassidy by name. In a follow-up interview with This Is 50, Cassidy expressed his appreciation for the mention, stating that he respected The Game for the shout-out. He also revisited his past conflict with Meek Mill, reflecting on how their lyrical rivalry had played out over the years. By the late 2000s and 10s, the energy surrounding the Meek Mill versus Cassidy feud had largely faded, as both artists shifted focus toward their careers and other priorities. Meek Mill began concentrating on chart-topping releases, high-profile collaborations, and advocacy work, while Cassidy moved deeper into battle rap culture, taking on major opponents in high-stakes matchups. Despite the heated history between them, there was no major public escalation after 2016. The narrative of their beef became more of a legendary chapter in Philadelphia's hip-hop history rather than an active rivalry. Many fans still revisit the tracks and interviews from that period, often debating who came out on top in the lyrical exchange. Industry commentators have pointed out that this feud represented a rare case where two highly skilled lyricists from the same city engaged in a drawn-out back and forth that pushed both to deliver some of their sharpest material. While neither side officially declared victory, the series of diss tracks remains a time capsule of an era when competitive rap battles still dominated headlines. In the end, the Meek Mill vs. Cassidy saga stands as a reminder of the power and potential volatility of lyrical competition in hip-hop, where rivalries can create both unforgettable music and lasting cultural moments. By 2018, while the direct shots had stopped, the competitive tension between Meek Mill and Cassidy still lingered beneath the surface. Both were carving their own paths in the industry, but the history between them remained a constant talking point for fans. Around this time, Cassidy began hinting in interviews that while there was no active hostility, he hadn't forgotten how Meek distanced himself after achieving mainstream success. Meanwhile, Meek's own career was undergoing major shifts. His release from prison in April 2018 marked a new chapter, with the rapper focusing on larger platforms and causes, while still keeping his name hot in music. However, in the background, the city of Philadelphia's rap scene still buzzed with comparisons between the two, showing that their past conflict had permanently shaped local hip-hop conversations. By 2019, Cassidy was less visible in mainstream media, but remained respected in battle rap and the underground circuit. He began re-establishing himself through high-profile battle rap events, reminding audiences of the lyrical skill that first made his name. Meek Mill, on the other hand, had cemented his place in mainstream hip-hop with successful albums, major collaborations, and a growing business portfolio. Even without direct exchanges, their contrasting career trajectories kept their rivalry alive in public perception. Industry insiders often speculated whether the two could ever work together again, or if the damage from their early clashes was too deep. As the decade closed, both artists were navigating critical turning points, setting the stage for the reflections and comments that would come in the years ahead. This feud would eventually fade into silence, with both artists moving on to other pursuits. However, in 2017, Cassidy reignited discussion during a Vlad interview, stating he didn't view Meek Mill or Kendrick Lamar as true battle rappers. Fast forward to early 2021, Cassidy appeared on the Hip Hop Uncensored podcast, revisiting his history with Meek Mill and claiming Meek's attitude shifted after securing his major label deal. Later that same year, Meek Mill experienced a public fallout with Rick Ross and MMG. In this period, Meek revealed deep dissatisfaction with his contract, tweeting that he hadn't been paid for his music and questioning the profits labels had made from him. By February 2022, Cassidy once again sat down with Hip Hop Uncensored. When asked about Meek Mill's issues with MMG, Cassidy said he had tried to help Meek in the past, but that things simply didn't work out between them. Since then, no new developments have emerged, and the Meek Mill versus Cassidy rivalry remains officially unresolved. Many fans still hope to see the two reunite on tracks or even trade freestyles, bringing back the raw energy of their early days. Thanks for watching. Be sure to like this video, subscribe to the channel, and hit the notification bell so you never miss our next deep dive into hip-hop's most unforgettable moments.